Blurb Pi. Reclaim your life. Success is largely based on what you know. Everything you know informs the choices you make. And those choices are either getting you closer to what you want or increasing the distance between you and your ultimate goals in life. Many people want to learn better and faster, retain more information, and be able to apply that knowledge at the right time. But the reality is that we forget a lot of what we learn. Human forgetting follows a pattern. Research shows that within just 1 hour, if nothing is done with new information, most people will have forgotten about 50% of what they learned. After 24 hours, this amount increases to 70%, and if a week passes without that information being used, up to 90% of it could be lost. To improve knowledge acquisition and retention, new information must be consolidated and securely stored in long-term memory. Long-term memory can be characterized by two components: retrieval strength and storage strength. Retrieval strength measures how likely you are to recall something right now or how close it is to the surface of your mind. Storage strength measures how deeply the memory is rooted. Hence, if we want our learning to stick, we have to do more than just aim to read a book every week or passively listen to an audiobook or podcast. Instead, reread chapters you didn't comprehend the first time, write down or practice what you learned the previous week before continuing to the next chapter, or take notes, if that works for you. By rebrushing, you're cementing the knowledge in your mind. Research indicates that when a memory is first recorded in the brain, it's still fragile and easily forgotten. Our brains are constantly recording information on a temporary basis. To separate vital information from the clutter, scraps of conversations you hear on your way to work, things you see, what the person in front of you is wearing, etc. The brain dumps everything that doesn't come up again in the recent future as soon as possible to make way for new information. If you want to remember or use new information in the future, you have to deliberately work on storing it in your long-term memory. This process is called encoding, which means imprinting information into the brain. Without proper encoding, there is nothing to store, and attempts to retrieve the memory later will fail. With any considerable number of repetitions, a suitable distribution of them over a space of time is more advantageous than the massing of them at a single time. When the same thing is repeated, your brain says, "Oh, there it is again. I better keep that." Most lifelong learning will involve some reading and listening, but by using a variety of techniques, you will cement new information quicker and better. But before we proceed, kindly subscribe to our channel to never miss a video. 1. Spaced repetition. Repeat intake of what you are trying to retain over a period of time. For example, when you read a book and really enjoy it, instead of putting it away, reread it again after a month, then again after 3 months, then again after 6 months, and then again after a year. Spaced repetition leverages the spacing effect, a memory phenomenon that describes how our brains learn better when we separate out information over time. Learning something new drives out old information if you don't allow sufficient time for new neural connection to solidify. 2. The 50-50 rule. Dedicate 50% of your time to learning anything new and the rest of your time to sharing or explaining what you have learned to someone or your audience. Research shows that explaining a concept to someone else is the best way to learn it yourself. The 50-50 rule is a better way to learn, process, retain, and remember information. The ultimate test of your knowledge is your capacity to transfer it to another person. The best way to learn something truly is to teach it. Not just because explaining it helps you understand it, but also because retrieving it helps you remember it. 3. Topic demonstrations. Another valuable method is to make the most of topic demonstrations to understand a topic inside out. Unlike simply reading or listening to an explanation, demonstrations show you how something works and help you visualize the concept, and thus can improve your retention rate. 4. Stop multitasking. While you may feel like you are accomplishing more by multitasking, you are actually more likely to make mistakes and get frustrated when things go wrong. By not multitasking, you can train your brain to focus your attention on one activity at a time and do better work. Break up tasks into smaller blocks of time so that you can dedicate that time solely to what you need to accomplish. 5. Exercise daily. Exercising as little as 25 minutes a day can increase your brain function. Exercise helps you learn faster and retain information better. Make exercise a part of your daily routine to ensure you get the brain boost from your physical activity. 6. Sleep. Finally, use sleep as a powerful aid between learning sessions. Evidence shows that short naps help reinforce learned material. The mere onset of sleep may initiate active processes of consolidation, which once triggered, remain effective even if sleep is terminated shortly after. Bottom line. Now that you know how to train your brain, it's actually time to start doing. Don't just consume this content and then go on with your life as if nothing has changed. Put this knowledge into action and become smarter than ever. Thank you for watching our video designed by www.dmninja.in, Blurb Pi, Reclaim Your Life.